Well, hello and welcome to the Jeep Life podcast.
Yay!
Yeah, this is T-Bone coming at you, and it's just awesome. We're just a podcast that gives off the vibe and celebrates the Jeep life everywhere. Now, we are located in the upper east part of the nation, but our radio waves and internet waves and all the other waves, the gamma rays, everything reach everywhere. So we're international. And right now we're hitting on all the coasts of the state. So that's pretty cool that we're going live on all the coasts. I have my good buddy Bill on the line. Bill, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Terry. Just hanging out up here in the heavens again from little Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania.
And that little location way up there, right?
Yeah.
Hey, did you guys get some snow?
Yeah, is it still snowing there?
It's not still snowing. It was 60 degrees today, but yesterday it was snowing, and woke up to some snow on my deck, and Mother Nature's really pissed off. I don't know. I don't know what her deal is.
The end of the world. The end of the world is coming.
Something.
And when it does, we'll cover it live here on the Jeep Life podcast.
Absolutely.
We'll be chasing it down all in 4-low if we have to. Bill, you had some really cool projects working. You sent me some pictures. I think you've got some control arms and some steering linkage and stuff. How's that going?
It's going, working on replacing some old parts and upgrading some old parts, installing a 1-ton steering flip kit.
Wow.
That was a bear and a half. Just trying to figure out some of these angles, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of patience, and but yeah, hopefully it'll ride a lot better. And that's all I'm asking for.
And Bill is doing it in his driveway.
Yeah, he is, and doing it by himself, I believe. And you are color coordinated.
Yes, I went color coordinated as well.
It's full team red up there, right?
Yeah, we went red control arms, and it's an aluminum steering, 1-ton steering, so it is like a brushed aluminum,
right?
But it looks beefy, so that's what I really need.
Yeah, and killing it. So that's awesome. I'm happy to see those pics, and I can't wait to see it in real life, if you will. I like the Bluetooth control arms that you installed. Yeah. There's an app for that.
I know there is, and the best thing of the entire install is I didn't break a single bolt.
Perfect.
That's nice.
Yet.
Yeah. Whoa. Hey. Knock on that wood right there.
Yeah, no doubt.
There you go.
So we gave Don the night off. He's underwater with work, and so I wanted to respect his time. And so to fill in the captain's chair tonight, I brought in our driveway mechanic, Frank. Frank, how we doing?
Good. I'm really happy to be here.
Yeah, I do.
Look, honestly, I've been thinking about it since you first told me about doing the podcast, and I said, all right, let me see what I can do as far as work is concerned to come in and record and this and that. Oh, it'll be great. It'll be fun. And then the next thing you know, I never have an effing Sunday off.
Yep.
Never have a Sunday off. And then when I do have a Sunday off, or when I think I'm going to have a Sunday off, guess what?
Yep.
I got to go to work.
You got to go to work.
So
tonight you called in dead.
No, actually, I do have the day off.
Wow.
It's surprising that I actually have the day off. I had texted you yesterday. I said, believe it or not, I may actually have Sunday off.
And that's when I went out and I changed the locks on the house. I was like, Frank's not getting in here no matter what. But it's good to have you here. And I think this is going to be a lot of fun.
Yes.
I honestly picked our main topic tonight because you were going to be here. Really in honor of you. But, I just wanted to welcome you, and you do such good work with us with videos, and I know I give you a hard time, but you put a lot of effort into those.
Yeah.
And it's really, I love the fact that you can take some things, and we're not breaking down the gears yet. We're not doing, but you're doing some things that every dude can do in their driveway,
right?
Or dudette,
yeah,
in their driveway, and giving them a little bit of confidence just by being able to watch another person do it, and we're not looking for perfection, right? We're looking for, hey, I'm Frank, man. I
could do this.
I can do this.
I could do this. And you know what's funny? I've been working on vehicles for a long time.
Yeah.
I'm fairly new to the Jeep scene. Maybe in the last 2 or 3 years.
Right.
Ever since I had met my wife.
Yeah.
When I met her is when she bought her JKU.
Yeah.
And then the rest is history,
Right.
as we'll go over later on.
Yeah,
today.
the snowball started rolling downhill.
Oh,
yeah.
And then she can't have one, and I got to get one too.
Right.
know?
Absolutely.
But just the fact that I've been working on vehicles for a long time, and the knowledge that I have through working on other cars, it translates well into the Jeep community. And it's basically everyone should be able to do the things that I'm doing, and I get inspired by seeing other people do certain projects.
Sure,
and
sure.
I go all over YouTube looking at different videos and different how-to stuff, and then I could take that knowledge and then apply it to whatever I'm doing.
Perfect. Now I know that you and I have done some work on Kylo.
Yes.
On my Jeep,
Mhm.
and you've been super helpful with me, and I know we're going to get to a little bit, but you've been working overtime on the Jeep that we're going to call the Jeep of the week this week.
Yes.
The Shady Lady.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that vehicle, because I know that we're real familiar with that vehicle as far as Bill and I and you are concerned, but we've seen it grow up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
I've gone skiing with this Jeep.
Oh yeah.
That's right. And I was right behind it.
and not with skis.
No.
Not with skis.
It was sliding down a hill.
It was full send it on both. I wish you could have seen both of these kids just out there getting stuck on a snow mound.
Wait, no.
Everyone out there.
He's talking about our trip to AOA.
Oh.
That's what he's talking
I'm talking about
about
the trip to AOA.
Oh, all right, then I'll let that
Where
story for another day then.
No, the snow mound.
Oh yeah.
We'll talk about that later also.
Yeah. Give me a couple more beers, Facebook Live, and we'll bring that one out.
So
everyone, real quick, Frank and I are Send It buddies.
Yeah.
You know how there's like Thunder buddies from TED 2 and TED 1? Yeah, we're Send It buddies.
Yeah,
it's a whole lot more fun.
It is fun. It is fun,
but if you want to drive your Jeep home that day,
don't
you might
hang out.
Don't follow them.
Yeah, I can't full send. I can send, not full send.
Yeah, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
You can't full send anymore.
I gotta drive it home.
Right.
So but you're talking about my wife Amy's Jeep.
Yeah.
It's a 2014 JKU, Polar Edition Jeep.
I love it. I love it.
She purchased it 3 years ago today.
Oh, that's right. Happy birthday.
Today is happy
birthday, Shady Lady.
Happy Jeep Day.
Yeah, that's awesome.
She purchased it after looking at probably about 15 other Jeeps.
Okay.
And I was not involved in the purchasing process.
Is this you or
this is
at
the
you?
Very beginning of our relationship.
Oh,
all right. So
she makes one good decision, and well,
which one's the good decision?
I'll leave that up to the
thank
listeners and Amy.
Thanks.
She'll tell me. She'll tell me the truth.
Well, anyway,
Amy just commented, "What goes up must come down."
Oh, here we go.
Truth.
But anyway, yeah. So over the last 3 years, Amy has been basically making this Jeep into the Jeep that she always wanted. She's told me many times that she's wanted a Wrangler for the longest time, and prior to the Wrangler, she had a Grand Cherokee, and it just wasn't the same.
Right,
it wasn't what she wanted, But I mean, the amount of mods that we've done, and between the two of us working on it, and it's a learning process for her. It's a learning process for me also, and I got a list that's like this long.
Yeah, well, give me some of the highlights. I know that because I love those Polar Edition. I love all those special edition. Most of them are in the Sahara range. right? If we're gonna break it down,
it would be
Sport,
considered. It would be considered a Sahara
Rubicon.
It's fully loaded though. I mean, it literally has like the heated leather seats. This is like a luxury interior type Jeep.
Yeah, and then put 35s on it.
Oh yeah, of course. Are you gonna leave it stock?
No, but those were nice wheels on the Polar Edition, though.
I still have them.
Oh, here we go.
Anyway,
I'm gonna barter for those.
We'll get back to that.
I don't even know what roll-up I don't even know what power windows are.
I know we got the crank them up.
Yeah, you know that little cubby in the center console. That's where the switches are for that.
Oh, that's what that is for. Yeah. Oh, I always just kind of threw my loose change in there, and then when I did a hard dig, it fell out.
That's where my wallet goes.
Couple of the highlights of the Shady Lady is well, first of all, she's running an AEV 2.5-inch lift.
Nice.
All right. I didn't do the install on that. We actually went to OK 4-wheel drive to have that done because that was the first big mod that she wanted done to the Jeep.
Yep.
Obviously, and it looks great.
Yeah, those AEV, they don't play around either.
And it rides better lifted than it did when it was stuck.
Oh, nice.
Like just the way that it handles the bumps and it's a really, really nice lift.
And OK 4-wheel drive does some really nice work. They're super wonderful people. Every time I've dealt with them, and I haven't had them do an install, but I've talked with them. I've spent time in the shop. They seem like really nice people and very knowledgeable.
Well, yeah, that was exactly it. Because when we went there, we spoke to their sales rep, and basically he was the one. Amy had an idea of the lift she wanted, and they basically said, "Okay, well, we could do the install. We'll do this, that, the other thing," and there it was. After that, she went with the Fuel 18-inch octane wheels with the Toyota 35-inch all-terrain tires.
All right,
and those wheels are awesome. Black goes really well with that polar blue.
For sure.
I'm sorry, not polar blue. It's called the heck is the name of that color?
Hydro
blue. Yes, Hydro. Thank you, Bill. We did a exhaust on it. It's got the Gibson black exhaust. Poison Spider front bumper. We got a Smitty built XRC 2.0 winch, the Smitty built rear bumper with the tire carrier. We got a set of DV8 rock sliders on it now, and JKS sway bar disconnects. Then for the all the powered
the air.
Well, no, I'm talking about the powered electronics.
Oh, okay.
So we went with the Apollo Intech. Their power distribution block.
Oh, okay.
That's a 6-switch unit that has a power distribution block under the hood, and it's really easy to wire things up. That's where we got the her air compressors on there. We have a Viair air compressor on there. She has a Quadratec J5 light bar, and then there's also, everyone says lockers before light bars.
Yeah.
Right. So we did a light bar.
Yeah.
But then we did lockers anyway. The lockers did come after the light bar, but there's a difference between a $300 mod and a $3,000 mod. We got front and rear E&E lockers and the 456 front and rear gears in the Jeep.
Oh, nice.
So she's running the 456s. We have the flash cow that took care of all the electronics and the speedometer and all the recalibration. And after that, it was also the Poison Spider diff covers.
Yeah, and those are custom painted, right?
A friend of mine does powder coating, so we had him do. She didn't know when
This was a Christmas present.
This was
right?
a Christmas present.
This was a
Christmas present. She had no idea. She thought she was going to get the black diff covers. I sent them out to my buddy. He did them in a metallic blue and a silver. So the Spider's blue. I mean, the Spider's silver, and the whole background of it is blue, and it matches really well. And you could see it just peeking out just enough.
Yeah, just enough. It looks really good.
And then
you've been working on it in the last week, haven't you?
This is the big thing.
Yeah.
Let me get back to that. So
all right.
Rounding out the drivetrain is front and rear Adams drive shafts.
Okay.
And
good stuff.
Yes.
Which another thing for everybody, like custom drive shafts, they're kind of important once you start throwing 35s on, you start lifting it. They really help with correcting some of those angles. in the newer Wranglers, they put these CV joints, and once you start lifting and doing other things, for some odd reason, these CV joints don't like it whatsoever.
No,
and then you tear a boot and you get some mud in there, and then they sound like you got a box of chains underneath your Jeep.
Yeah, you don't want that. And then, yeah, so those Adams are, yeah, they're built pretty tough.
Yes, they are.
For sure.
Tough is an understatement.
And so just this past weekend,
yeah, the big boxes in the garage.
A couple of big boxes came, and Amy was very excited when her big boxes arrived. We ended up with the Poison Spider Crusher front and rear fender flares with the inner fenders.
Nice.
And, oh yeah, and so the inner screens. Amy also ordered Hydro Blue touch-up paint, so she did the silver screens all blue. And we did the install this past weekend. It took 2 whole days.
Wow. Yeah.
It was a tough install. I'm not gonna lie.
Was there some drilling involved with? Because
there was drilling involved.
That's what I've heard. Those things don't line up perfectly.
Nutserts involved, and that it's not very forgiving.
No,
like if you're,
I mean, it's not hard. It's just time consuming and a lot of effort.
Hard. It's just time consuming, and that's the kind of thing where you bolt it up, line it up, pull it off, drill some holes, bolt it up, line it up, pull it off, drill some more holes.
Yeah.
Then you're doing the inner fenders. You bolt up the bracket, you bolt up the inner fenders, and you bolt up the outer fenders. Does it line up? No. Okay. Take the fender off, and then if you happen to spin a nutsert, or it can lead to a nightmarish situation. But
a lot of cursing.
I was going to say there's a lot of swear words.
There was some colorful language. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to say there was definitely some colorful language, but Amy was very helpful with the install. And then our other friend, another member, Sean Judd, he came by a couple of times over the 2 days that we were doing the project, just to lend a hand and give, because he had done the same project about a week prior.
Oh, okay.
And then he did it by himself.
Right.
So the end result was worth the effort. I'm going to tell you that much.
Amy wants me to ask you, did you find the squeaks when you were putting those fenders on?
All right. So we've been chasing a squeak in her Jeep. All right. First, there was so many different things that it could have been.
We even did a set of wheel bearings.
Yeah, we did a set of that was one of our videos. We basically, I narrowed it down to, at this point, the front drive shaft U-joint.
Yeah.
So what I plan on doing now is just getting a can of industrial grease and just spraying the shit out of it. If the squeak goes away, then I can sleep at night.
She might let you. Yeah, at this point. So it is named the Shady Lady.
Yes.
And you told me where that came from. Where is that from?
All right. So my wife is a huge fan of the rock group Volbeat.
Yeah.
And one of their albums is called Outlaw Gentlemen and Shady Ladies.
Oh, okay.
And she wanted something that was completely unique and was not anywhere. I've never seen another Jeep, or another vehicle for that matter, named Shady Lady.
Yeah. So
we actually went to a local graphic shop and had a graphic made up in the same color as the Polar Edition stripes that go down the side of the hood. Had them install it, and that's been it. So the Shady Lady is actually, I call her the most popular Jeep in the Lehigh Valley.
For sure. For sure.
Absolutely. I'd agree.
Just simply where it parks.
Yes.
On a regular basis.
Every day.
Which is, I found her real early on founding our club. Now I really like the location of the name. It's right up front on the hood,
right,
which is, that Polar Edition has a nice special edition hood.
Right.
But it also has those graphics on the side, and I'm glad that those weren't removed to put the name there, but on the front.
And it's funny because we were just talking about that. When you look at her Jeep, right, and you look at the way that the graphics are, and the seats have the same embroidery in the seats as the graphic. The Polar Edition specific badges have the same graphic in the badge itself.
Yeah.
Even the plastic inserts have the little mountain range in them. So it was pretty important to keep that, to keep
the theme going.
I've seen other Polar Editions with that removed,
Yeah.
And it just looks like a JKU with.
I was going to say it's not a Polar
Yeah,
Edition anymore.
It's not a
right?
Polar Edition, exactly.
Exactly.
So, and you're right that there's that one little spot that's in front of the hood because the vehicle came with that that special edition hood, and it just everything fit perfectly right there.
Perfect. So the naming of it brings me to our main topic tonight, and that is naming your Jeep. Should you? And what are the best names we could find? Now, what's really cool about this, and the reason that I'm loving having Frank on at this moment, is Shady Lady is perfectly named. Bill, you've got 2 Jeeps up there, right?
Yeah.
And both of their names fit perfectly, right? Tell me a little bit about that.
So Big Red is, well, Big Red.
It's big.
Big Red wasn't that big, and then obviously Big Red has to live up to its reputation. And the first reputation was I didn't care, and I absolutely would try to climb or go over anything.
Yep. He had goals.
Then,
Big Red had goals.
And Big Red's meeting those goals.
Nice.
As we're speaking. And it's getting bigger. And it's like one of those memes you see. The more I play with it, the bigger it gets.
Yeah, right. Truly. That's what she said.
And then I have a 98 Jeep Cherokee on 35s with a 6.5-inch lift kit. And this, the first time I had it out on the trails, she didn't have a name.
No, it was Little Blue, wasn't it?
Well,
I
think Little Blue.
I do recall seeing
Big Red and Little Blue. I think originally.
Yeah, it was. It was Big Red and Little Blue. Even though Little Blue was bigger than Big
at the time, yeah,
taller at least. And then I took it out on the trails and I went full send into a giant puddle
multiple times,
and then all of a sudden you heard my engine redlining and
not going anywhere.
This Jeep is straight piped, so as it starts to redline, it cracks, pops, and the whole 9. And I stopped in my tracks.
Oh.
So,
and that is the day that Billy is no longer my sended buddy. Because I can't afford what he did to do to anything that I own. What he did to puddles.
Oh. It was only a U-joint.
But you made it off the mountain.
I had to hitchhike to the auto parts store to get to get a U-joint to fix in the parking lot of AOAA.
Yeah, so Puddles fits perfectly.
Yeah, Puddles does fits because it was she got stuck in a puddle, and that's where I had to lay in a lot of mud to remove my rear drive shaft to get her off the trails.
Oh. It never fails when I'm out with you. It's always some sort of an adventure. Always.
It was oh god. The last we went off-roading with all my buddies and
yeah. there was an XJ involved in puddles at that point on that one too.
Yeah, that
you and I towed out.
Yeah, sank in a mud puddle. We had a train going that just
speaking of trains, didn't it take 2 Jeeps to get him out of the snowbank?
Oh, it did.
Yes,
it did.
And
we broke synthetic winch line. We were dragging my Jeep using my winch trying to get him out. It was just dragging my Jeep.
See, mine came off pretty easy.
Yeah,
and then I didn't have reverse anymore.
Yeah,
I got suctioned into that
you
snow.
Did.
Yeah, that was bad.
You did. Yeah, there was not an inch of your tires on the snow at all. All right, so my Jeep's name is Kylo. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. It's red and black, so it's got that nice sinister feel to it. Yep. I like how conflicted Kylo Ren is in the movies, and I feel the same way about my Jeep, and I know that he's trying to figure out who he is in life. Is he this badass rock crawler, or is he this really subdued mall crawler that spends most of his life parked in a parking lot? So I know he has that conflict, so the name really kind of fits. Everything about the Jeep is red or black, and if it's not red or black, it gets blacked out in some way.
Right.
Well, you just added a new little modification that isn't black.
I did, because it's gray, so it has a lot of black in it.
But you did want it to show up.
I did want it to show up against the black
sure.
windows. So I met up with our vinyl guy today, and he handed me some things. So
nice.
Yeah, we got a advertisement for our Jeep Life Pod Instagram page.
Yes.
And so that's on the Jeep now. But my friend Frank, he had his fiance having a sweet Jeep that he kept working on and building up, and he's like, I want my own.
Yeah,
I don't want to ride with you. I want to ride behind you.
Yeah.
Which is what he did in his TJ.
Yes.
And that was a sweet little TJ.
You know what? Honestly, for a first Jeep,
yeah, it's a perfect.
I would recommend a TJ.
Yeah.
Having now owned it and modified it, and
yeah, they're super easy to work on.
Oh yeah,
super easy. It really has that still, you feel it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of thing. It was aptly named Gunslinger.
Yes. It was.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, basically, when I bought it, right, I bought it from a guy who was a former Marine.
Yep.
And he had put a vinyl star on the hood.
Oh, right.
And it was like a weathered looking star.
Yeah.
And when I looked at it, and it just something clicked in my head, and I was just like, you know what, this has like a old Western, cowboy gunslinger vibe.
Yep.
And it just had to be that.
Yeah.
It was literally, it came to me the same day.
Yeah. And your graphics on it were really cool.
Yep. So I got with the graphics guy that I was using at the time, and I had him come up with an old Western saloon type of font.
Yep.
And then I had him weather it, and then that went right, and went really well on the side of the hood.
Yeah.
And that was just it. And this Jeep was raw, it was dirty.
Yep.
And you know what? It was the Gunslinger.
It was the Gunslinger. I love it. I love it. I loved hanging out with, I loved it when I was off on Mondays. I could just literally throw a text out there, and Frank and Amy would instantly want to go ride.
Absolutely.
And so we, multiple times, the three of us just went out, and Gunslinger was always most of the time in the lead.
Yeah.
Because if either of us were in the lead, we'd leave Gunslinger behind.
Well,
so
yeah, and I wanted you to make sure if something fell off, you'd stop
we'd stop and pick it up. But you did sell Gunslinger.
Yes, I did.
And so parked out in front of Studio B is a beautiful white Rubicon.
Yes.
And I know you and I have been going rounds and rounds about naming this Jeep.
Here we go.
Which is why I wanted to bring this on, because I think it's important that you name a Jeep and it becomes your own. So I offered up almost immediately, because I felt like it had a medieval flair to it.
Yeah.
And so I offered up Snow White for it, because I thought it was very beautiful.
Yeah,
and
you know what? Honestly, if I was a 14-year-old girl,
yeah,
Snow White would have been the perfect name.
You're the closest thing to a 14-year-old girl at the stable. Yeah.
At this table, yeah, actually.
He's got nothing. He's got nothing.
I got nothing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You threw me for a loop there, Terry. You know what? At least my name's not Terry.
So he didn't go for that. So I was like, well, maybe that Jeep's a little crotchety.
I think I need another.
And a little angry, but I think it'll go through just about anything. So I came up with Betty White.
Betty White. Yeah.
Which, if you just call it Betty, I thought that was a terrific name. And
the problem with that, now let me tell you something.
Betty's never going to die.
But no, the problem with that is somebody already has that name on a Gladiator.
Oh,
I did find that. You know what? I did a little bit of research, and someone out there already has that. It's written right on the side of the hood. And I'm like, you know what? Someone's already got that. I can't. It's not going to work.
So then we went back to medieval times, Remember, we jumped back there, and we were calling it Sir Rubicon.
Sir Rubicon, the White Knight.
The White Knight of Northampton.
Of Northampton. I kind of like that. I kind of dig it.
We love that. We got vetoed.
Yeah, well, my wife said, I don't like it.
Sir Rubicon, the White Knight of Northampton. But that wouldn't fit on one side of the hood.
Yeah, I know. It would have just been Sir Rubicon, and then we would have figured. So I compiled a list.
All right.
This is what I was doing this afternoon.
Okay.
I compiled a list of white Jeep names.
All right.
That could probably not work.
All right.
All right. Maybe they will. Maybe they won't. Maybe not necessarily from me.
Hold on. We got a listener. Now there's some other people that have listened that have thrown out some names of their Jeeps. But the guy who actually did all the music for us.
Okay.
My friend Nike, the most talented human being on the face of the planet.
Mm-hmm.
The Winter Soldier.
That's a good one.
That is pretty good.
See,
that is pretty good.
That's you can just put down the list now.
Hold on. I got something.
Go ahead.
All right.
What was the Winter Soldier's original name?
Bucky.
Bucky.
Nah, you know what? Nah.
No, what we need to do is cut off one of Frank's arms, and we'll call his Jeep and hit him with it for sure, and call his name call his Jeep the Winter Soldier.
I think I'm gonna leave now. Which way is it going?
It only took an hour, folks. It only took an hour.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
Really not
so what
bad.
I was looking. All right. So I came up with a whole list here.
Yeah, give me some highlights here.
Right, so Great White. But that's also an 80s band.
Yeah, which were pretty good.
Yeah, they were pretty good, but
until they burned down a bar.
I couldn't even name you one song, to be honest with you. So that goes out of the way. For what?
That's the name of the song.
Oh, okay.
That's one of
so then there was the White Whale and White Lightning. So, but when you put white in front of anything, it's not necessarily a good idea.
It doesn't
because
always.
The next thing you know, it'd be white or something like. We can't have that as a name.
We cannot.
But then white could also be something like a ghost.
Right.
Ghosts are white.
Oh, that's right, Casper.
Yes. So
Casper,
we came up
with the friendly Rubicon.
Right. So that's not going to happen.
Oh,
but we have. So I have just general ghostly names like Spirit or Phantom or Poltergeist.
Phantom's already taken.
Okay.
One of our listeners is Phantom.
That is true. I got that. Then I came up with something different. So since Phantom is taken and I've seen Phantasm, then I was thinking we'll just spice it up a little bit and call it El Fantasmo. And you got to say it like that. You got to say it like a Spanish announcer. El Fantasmo.
Brandon just commented Vanilla Ice.
Oh.
That's it.
So getting back to my list.
Even if you do El Turismo or whatever you just said,
El Fantasmo.
Yeah, you need all chrome, all the time. We'll put some 22s on there.
That's why. Yeah, that's why that's not going to happen.
We'll make it an LCG, low center of gravity, and
you know what? Honestly, and then I was going back to the Winter Soldier type of thing. I did not have that on my list, but what I did have on my list was actually Ghost Recon.
Yeah,
because that kind of I like the vibe,
Yeah.
And maybe I don't know.
No, Winter Soldier
might be where it is. So
yeah,
you know what we could do? You think we could put up a poll?
We could, or if we knew how to do that,
or suggestions, or something like that. Go ahead, Bill.
I got an idea. Jason Weber said Wrath. What about Wrath Soldier?
Wraith.
Wrath.
Winter Soldier.
That might be it. I
think that might stick. And pull the whole. I'm liking this because you can use like a dirty silver as your accent color.
Yeah. That's already what I'm using. If you look at the
it hasn't been washed in a while yet.
Well,
besides the fact that it hasn't been washed in a while, the wheels are actually the gunmetal.
Oh, Russ just came. It's called Olaf from Frozen.
Oh my god.
I already said snowflake show.
So
Yeah.
look, what? Let me ask you a question.
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
All right. So you have Kylo. Right?
Yes.
Have you named any other vehicles that you've owned?
Um,
Or is it just because this is not necessarily even just a Jeep thing?
it isn't, because
No.
my Mustang, as corny and odd as it was the White Stallion,
Oh, see,
because it was a 68 fastback.
there you go.
But I honestly didn't think of that as a name so much as a description,
Mhm.
right?
Mm.
Because it was white, and a Mustang is the horse, so the White Stallion. But yeah, so you're right. It isn't just a Jeep thing, because I know there's people that are passionate about their car.
Yeah.
Tend to name their car. And some of them
Mhm.
are personal names that they give them that only they talk
Right.
about, right? It's not something they put on a graphic on the hood or anything like that. That's just come on and they stroke it. And when on the cold days, you can
You
do
can
this.
Come
Or if
on.
you're climbing up a hill, or if you're trying to get out of a mud puddle, you can do this. Come on.
That's all the time with puddles.
I know, right?
Come on, baby, you can get out of this. Let's go. Let's go.
My best friend in the whole world has a Miata,
Hmm.
and his is Medusa. No,
Okay.
no. It isn't Medusa. It's what's the evil person from the Little Mermaid? Ursula.
Yeah.
It's Ursula, and it's such a cool Miata, and he has the same passion for that vehicle
Mhm.
that we do about our Jeeps.
That's
So
true.
I think it's equated to passion, and how much do you love that vehicle that it becomes an entity to you, right?
Well, as you know, I'm very passionate about vehicles also.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I've been for a long time. I have a small list of other vehicles that I've owned and their names that I can give to you guys right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
So out of, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out of this list, 5 of them are Mustangs.
Okay.
So
All right.
the first 5 are Mustangs. So I had an 86 Mustang, and I used to call that one the Silver Bullet.
Okay.
Because,
Was it silver?
yeah, it was silver.
It was fast.
And it was just it was fast as hell, and it was
Right.
loud, and it was unforgiving, and that was the Silver Bullet. After that, I had a 92, which was it was in primer. The car was done basically as a subdued street race car.
So it's from Alabama.
No, it was from New York.
All
This
right,
is
all
what we do. But that one I called Street Fighter.
Okay.
Because it was a street race car,
Yep.
and we used to
A little rough around the edges.
very rough around the edges. It was part of zip tie and duct tape racing, just to let you know. After that car,
make the world go round.
After that car, I had Street Fighter 2, which had the
Electric
drive.
Boogaloo.
Well, it was the the full drivetrain of Street Fighter in a different body shop.
Okay.
So I kept the name. It was Street Fighter 2.
All right.
After that, I had a Sinister GT, which was my 2002.
Okay.
Because the car just looked badass.
Okay.
And I love the way that car looked. My current Mustang is a 2016. I call that one Black Rose.
No.
So that's another reference to the band Volbeat, because they have a song called Black Rose, and I like the song, and I named the car after that. 3 other vehicles besides the TJ. TJ was Gunslinger. I told you about that.
Yep.
Then I also had 2 other vehicles that I had names for. I had a Toyota Tacoma at one point.
Oh, a taco. Nice.
And that's what I called it. It was the
taco.
taco.
Okay.
And then I had a Subaru Impreza, which I named after an anime character called the Domo.
All right.
Because the front end looked like the angry mouth of the Domo, and it just went with it.
All right.
So, Bill, any other names or just the 2 Jeeps?
I've had a couple. I had a Kia Forte that I called the Black Widow.
Okay.
I don't know why. It just came about one day.
Was it black with a red hourglass
dash
on its
center
stomach?
thing?
Oh,
No,
okay.
it had, it was all black, and it had like a red dash, and all the lighting was red. And then I had a 2003 Volkswagen Passat with a 1.8 turbo, and it was straight piped because I like things that are very loud. And
Yes,
that was called the shitbox because it was loud, it was unforgiving. Literally, I dragged a muffler halfway from New York home one time.
Nice.
Yeah. And then trying to think. I had a GMC Yukon, and that was just my friends always called it the workhorse because had the 5.7 liter V8 Vortec in it, and that thing just pulled and hauled everything.
Well, that's great.
So yeah, it was mostly just the Jeeps, though.
Yeah.
It was more of those names kind of describe the vehicle itself.
Yeah.
Not so much a personal name to the vehicle, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but you know what? I mean, if you're looking at it and you say to yourself, "Oh, I'm gonna take the 87 GMC." No, I'm gonna take shitbox today. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And then I blew up shitbox driving home on 78 one day.
Of course you did.
Yeah. Send it.
My water pump went. And when you're kind of cruising down the highway, you know how fast an engine goes from, 210 degrees to about 900 and some?
Ooh.
Real quick.
Wow.
Real quick. Oh, yeah.
We got a whole lot of names.
Everybody is naming.
People are trying to come up with
the Ghostbuster, Blizzard.
Ghostbuster, Glacier Ghost.
Glacier Ghost. I like it.
Oh, okay.
White Claw.
Blizzard.
White Claw.
I literally laughed out loud when I read that one. It was in the middle of some story you were telling, Frank, and I didn't care about your story anymore. White Claw just wiped it out.
Oh my.
Bone Napper.
No law when you're on the claw.
No laws when you're drinking claws.
No boy.
Oh, that's awesome.
Sorry.
So I think it's awesome. You almost have to live with it for a little bit to figure out the name of your Jeep for a while. It's not something that just comes to you. With me as an outsider, I got names for days for your your little Rubicon.
But it has to be something that it has to strike a chord with.
Yeah. When I think I honestly this whole Winter Soldier thing just.
It's starting to grow on me a little bit. I'm digging the vibe
Gunslinger, Winter Soldier. I think you could definitely Marvel it up.
Could do that.
I'm a huge Marvel fan anyway, so I think there's some. You could do it like a black and white Captain America kind of style. With some silver,
the giant red star on the hood.
Oh yeah, red.
Well, which would change my entire accent color and
we can.
You don't have to change it because he's like all like black and his whole
getup
is all.
You're gonna make me go and watch Marvel movies again, aren't you?
His arm is silver, and then he has the giant red star on his shoulder.
Right.
I like this. I like where this has gone. Man, it's been awesome. Thanks for letting us name your Jeep, Frank. I appreciate it. You don't get any say in this anymore. Sure. It is now live and out there.
Well, you know what? If anybody comes up with something, just let me know. And all Sinatra.
Ronald Hawk just said Sinatra.
I mean, he knows he drives a white Jeep too.
Team White.
Sinatra.
He's my Team White brother. I know.
Yep. I've enjoyed this. This is fun.
There's
got to be a story. That's the whole thing.
Well, I got a story. There's a story right here. Here I am on a podcast talking about Jeep names. The next thing you know, I got the Winter Soldier sitting outside.
Yeah.
There you go.
I think it's in. It's stuck. It's
done.
Thanks, Nike, for making it happen.
I'm hitting the gavel.
Judge Bill has presided.
It is written.
The defense rest.
Written in stone as I proceed now.
I love it. So thanks for that. I would love for people this week to go on to Instagram tag. I mean, so many people's Jeep name is their Instagram handle to start with.
That's true.
But
that is true.
tag us in your post about your name for your Jeep. That would be awesome. And our Instagram, since it's now on the side of my Jeep, is at Jeep Life Pod. And tag us in there and show us your name. Or if you want, take a picture of a white Jeep and tell Frank.
Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. Honestly, if we can come up with something I mean, Winter Soldier is pretty good. I am digging the idea. I am, but if something else strikes me, then we'll take it into consideration.
I don't think they are.
No, probably
not. Frank, where can they find you on Instagram?
Well, actually, my Instagram is dedicated to doing model cars.
Yeah,
I'm an avid scale modeler.
You're good at it.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you. And mostly everything that I post on Instagram is model car related, or whatever little projects I'm doing. I do get some Jeep stuff up there every now and then.
Yeah.
But let me get you my my Instagram. Hold on.
Yeah, because it's not easy.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. All right. So I'm at Frank_LV_scale customs. It's a little bit difficult.
Yeah, don't put that on the side of your hood.
And if you go on my Instagram right now, you'll see that I've been actually dabbling in 3D printing for scale models, and I've been doing.
You did an engine redo for.
Yes,
for a pedal car.
I just did that for my friend Mikey.
Yeah,
he was watching. There was a pedal car that he's building for his daughter, and he took this Power Wheels hot rod engine, and he sent it to me, and he's like, "Can you refinish this to me?" So I did the engine block in Hemi orange. I re-chromed the valve covers, re-chromed the blower, and had to do quite a bit of work to it. But go on my Instagram, and you'll see the process. I actually just posted it this morning.
Frank_LV customs.
LV_scale customs.
Scale custom.
It's the worst difficult
name ever.
Whatever. You know what? If I'm worth following.
You definitely.
If you could find me, I'm worth following. How about that?
So here you go. Is your name associated with your?
Yes, my name, Frank Toti.
Just search Frank Toti.
Yeah, just search me, and I'm there.
So where else can people find us? You can wherever you find your podcast, whether it's Google or Spotify or Apple Podcasts, which I would recommend. It's a lot easier, unless you don't have an Apple product, then whatever. But find us on there. You can easily find us. Write a review wherever you find us. Write us a review. They really do help. They help other people find us. They really do. Frank, stop writing your -3 review.
Terry is a sexy beast.
There you go. Keep that flowing.
I would jump in Billy's lap.
Next week.
Well then,
I would love to be reading some more reviews on here. I love to read reviews on air. They're a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
You can find us at the jeeplifepodcast.com. You can download straight from our website if you don't want to go to any of the other places to find us. We've already talked about Instagram at Jeep Life Pod. Facebook is facebook.com/Jeep Life Podcast. And our YouTube page, which has just been updated and looks awesome. Thanks, Bill, for doing that.
Makeover.
Good job.
Yep. Just search for Jeep Life Podcast. We're pretty easy to find. Yep. Anybody got anything else?
No.
I'm
tired.
I think we're good.
I know it's been one of those weeks, hasn't it?
Oh, jeez.
I don't know. I'm off for the next 2 days, so I'm good.
Frank's good. Man, Frank, I'm so glad you were here.
Thank you for having me again.
I'm glad this is one and done. We don't need to do this again. No, I'm just kidding.
I know. I've only been busting your balls to come on this thing for what, two months now?
Forever. I love it.
Got something from the heavens over here. Real quick, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
Yeah,
real quick.
That's right.
Happy
Mother's Day.
Kind of throwing it out there real quick.
Yeah, since we are recording this on Mother's Day,
we are.
Man, thank you so much for tuning in and listening to us. You've been awesome. We can't do this without you. Well, we could, but it wouldn't be nearly as fun. So our listeners, thanks for listening and joining in with us. And
Yes.
our Facebook Live people who join us, man, we appreciate it. You keep the ball rolling. You keep us entertained, and feed into some of the good times that we have here as well. And I hope you enjoy it. For the Jeep Life podcast, have a good night, everybody. See ya.
Good night.
See you later.